right now.
Over the past 4 weeks, the Hill Country has been resilient, volunteering and supporting the people impacted in any way they can. But those floods washed away many of the public places that kids would hang out at. Night Team's Zaria Oates shares how one family is giving back to kids and parents in Kirk County after so many places have been destroyed.
Hi. What's your name?
Ellie.
This is 6-year-old Ellie and her mom, Alyssa. Together, they've been making sure the spark in Kerrville doesn't go out, despite how difficult the past few weeks have been.
I miss it.
Ellie's feelings are shared by a lot of the kiddos in the Hill Country.
I miss the splash pad.
Everything that we used to do for free is gone.
The July 4th floods didn't spare much in Kerr County.
The river is gone, our playgrounds were wiped away, you can't go biking on our trails. Trails are closed down.
So Alyssa Chavez, a stay-at-home mom in the Hill Country, took it upon herself to give the kids of Kerr County a little bit of hope at a time of uncertainty.
I posted on Facebook, hey, does anyone have a space that we could host these little kid get-togethers? And it just blew up. My friend Kayla, this is her dance studio. She was so willing to just throw me in here.
In the days and weeks following July 4th, this dance studio turned into a part-time safe haven for the families impacted by the floods.
We really just encourage the active play of everything.
This past week, they even had an event at a local shop in town whose owner was directly impacted by the floods.
A wonderful lady who owns the Fancy Finch Tea Cottage here in Ingram, Texas, she lost everything. She's actually living in an RV. For her to offer something, her space, to us and to these kids, it's a reflection of who our community is.
I had blueberry tea with ice in it.
These events for kids and their parents aren't stopping anytime soon.
We actually just saw that quite a few of our Amazon wishlist items were purchased, one of them being a bounce house, which we're so excited about. On Tuesday, we are having a build your own trucker hat, kind of customize it with mocktails that's being sponsored by a local mocktail company.
Safe to say the kids of Kerr County are making the most out of a tough situation. Zaria Oates, KSAT, 12 News.
Zaria, thank you. And earlier this week, a San Antonio mother went viral on TikTok after an incident at the San Antonio Aquarium. That's where an octopus latched onto her son's arm and wouldn't let go. While the boy does have marks from the incident, the aquarium is saying the animal meant no harm. So let's rewind a bit. Brittany Tarrant posted the video after the incident on July 14th, in which she said the aquarium's octopus attacked her 6-year-old son. The boy was left with suction bruises up to his armpit after the animal was pulled off of him by staff. Now Tarrant says she's advocating for better treatment of animals at the aquarium. We have reached out to the aquarium and they sent us a statement that reads in part, interactions are strictly allowed only with staff supervision. In this instance, the guest leaned her child over the exhibit barrier, allowing him to reach into the habitat without staff supervision. The octopus displayed typical curious behavior by touching and holding the child's arm, adding at no point was the octopus aggressive or attempting to harm the child. It's also important to mention that this isn't the first controversy at the aquarium. In 2018, a group stole a shark that was then returned. That same year, the aquarium was briefly closed due to a fire hazard, and in 2020, it was shut down after allowing guests during the COVID-19 pandemic. And taking a look at live cam, we've endured the heat today, but we've also seen rain across the entire city and also in the Hill Country.
Yeah, JP, we did get on the warmer side, but the rain, that's what allowed our temperatures to really start to cool down, and for some areas in the Hill Country, not even get to the triple digits. Take a look at the rainfall total some areas saw in San Antonio just throughout today. Helotes got about an inch or so. We do still have that flash flood warning in effect for eastern Bexar County and southwestern portion of Guadalupe County for the next 30 minutes or so. But even then, take a look at areas of the Hill Country. They also saw some heavier rain in areas near Kerrville. If you take a little query, about an inch and a half, but along the river, the Guadalupe River, they did have a flash flood warning in effect for them that was allowed to expire because they continue to see that heavier rainfall. Just take a look at the rainfall totals just closer to Mountain Home. Radar indicates 4 inches of rain. Closer to Comfort along the river, about an inch or so. Lost Maples saw about 2 inches. So we did see some nice rainfall accumulation in the Hill Country. And once again, not everyone saw the heavy rainfall, but some areas did continue to see more rain than others. Now, we do have more rain chances on the way, not only tomorrow, but once again, as we go into Monday, I'll talk about what you can expect for the rain chances tomorrow, how that will impact your weekend. Plus, take a look at the rain chances you can expect on Monday, JP, coming up in just a bit.
I'll be looking forward to it. Now, this morning, a neighborhood woke up to racial slurs, anti-Semitic rhetoric, and graphic drawings. San Antonio police say those responsible for the vandalism are all under the age of 15. Our Devin Karp explains the charges they could face and how the neighborhood is coming together to clean up the mess.
On Saturday mornings, Matthew likes to try and catch some extra sleep after a long week, but instead...
Somebody kept banging on the door, and it was the police, and they were like, hey, your vehicle's been, involved in some kind of activity with graffiti and stuff, and are you aware of that? And I was like, no, this is new to me.
Neighbors in the Castle Hill Forest area woke up to a colorful scene, but not a welcome one. San Antonio police say a group of 4 juveniles under 15 decided to spray paint anti-Semitic rhetoric, slurs, and graphic imagery on cars, fences, houses, even throwing a rock through a window of one home.
It's a work truck, so I don't really care. I'd rather have pink graffiti on it.
Matthew had 2 of his trucks hit with curse words, graphic imagery, and a slur. But fortunately, a separate group of kids in the neighborhood showed up and helped him buff it out.
WD-40 works great, actually, and it's a little messy, but it worked good for the most part, and it got a lot of this stuff out of here.
In total, 3 cars and 20 people have been identified as victims. San Antonio police say it's being investigated as a hate crime.
They don't know what it was like going up in the 90s or 2000s. It was just different.
Matthew says he had a lot of free time growing up during the summer, but never resorted to something like this.
We'd be in the cul-de-sac shooting hoops or doing something outside. Nowadays, there's too much brain rot.
Thankfully, he thinks a good car wash should get the rest off.
Would you say anything to him if you ever saw him again?
I just feel bad for the parents because they're in a lot of trouble.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
You may remember Ashley Pardo. She was the mother accused of buying tactical gear, ammunition, and gun magazines for her 13-year-old son for alleged planned mass violence at Rhodes Middle School. Well, now she's been arrested again for a charge of endangering a child. Pardo's latest charge comes after San Antonio police say they searched her phone following her first arrest, adding that's when they found a 2023 picture that Pardo sent over text. Investigators say Pardo is seen pointing a shotgun at the head of a then 11th-month-old baby with the caption, "Tell her to stop being bad." Her bond has been set at $45,000 on the new charge. She has also been ordered to have no contact with her children. And the Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this man. He's believed to be a risk to his own health, and he should not be approached. He went missing last night in the Alamo Ranch area. This is Robert Jones III. He's 49 and was last seen around 6 last night by a neighborhood between Calabria Road and Alamo Ranch Parkway. According to DPS, Jones is believed to be in a black F-150 pickup truck with Arizona license plates. They add the truck has a custom front grille guard and U.S. Marine stickers on the rear windshield. Again, if you see him, do not approach him. Instead, call BCSO at 210-335-6000. Still ahead, Habitat for Humanity is giving a group of San Antonio families a shot at home ownership. We'll hear from one new homeowner and how she helped build her own house. And the Trump administration announcing a new round of tariffs, how the president's trade policies are affecting Americans' wallets. That's next. Consumers are already seeing new price hikes amid economic uncertainty over tariffs implemented by President Donald Trump. Some major companies are now planning to increase prices to offset tariff costs. Meanwhile, the latest jobs data has President Trump lashing out at the Nonpartisan Bureau of Labor Statistics. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez with the details.
President Trump announcing sweeping new tariffs set to go into effect on August 7th, raising import taxes on nearly 70 countries. Every country will face tariffs of at least 10%, some as high as 40%. Mexico is getting a 90-day grace period, but will still face 25% tariffs. Talks with China are ongoing. Current tariffs remain at 30%. American companies say they're passing on rising prices to consumers.
The high tariffs are a tax on the American people. The high tariffs increase the cost of doing business inside the United States.
Procter & Gamble, who make everything from toothpaste to detergent, says it's rising prices on 25% of its products.
Your average American household is going to spend thousands of dollars more between now and the end of the year to pay for Trump's tariffs.
Meanwhile, the latest jobs report came in far below expectations. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, a nonpartisan agency, also revised previous numbers, as it routinely does, lowering job creation in May and June by more than 250,000 jobs, signs that the labor market is weakening. The president furious, claiming without evidence that the jobs data was, quote, rigged to make him look bad, then firing the agency's commissioner, Erica McIntyre. Her predecessor, who was appointed by Trump in his first term, says the president's claims are baseless.
It's impossible for the commissioner to do that. The commissioner does not even see the numbers until the numbers are completely done and they're loaded and ready to be distributed.
The president is also taking aim at Fed Chair Jerome Powell after the central bank decided not to lower interest rates earlier this week, saying in an interview with Newsmax.
I would remove him in a heartbeat, but they say it would disturb the market, and he gets out in 7 or 8 months, and I'll put somebody else in.
Powell has said he believes that the best approach is to wait and see the impact of Trump's tariff strategy before cutting rates. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
We've been talking about it earlier this afternoon that this week has started to feel those temperatures rise again, really starting to feel like that South Texas summer, even though we're coming to the end of summer. But with that, we've still had rain chances.
Yeah, today I believe was our 7th or 8th day where we got to 100 degrees or above for most of us here this summer, but we also did see some rain. Now take a look at Authority radar. Right now, a lot of what you see on the radar is just some feedback. We're actually still seeing some light rain as you go from Atascosa County and even into areas of Karnes County. But one thing I want it noted is right here in eastern Bexar County and western Guadalupe County, there is still a flash flood warning in effect until about 10:30 tonight. That was because they did see some heavier rainfall over the last few hours. And here's how much rain actually fell in areas about the last 12 hours or so for today. It was very isolated. We did see some heavier rainfall in the hill country like I showed earlier. We also saw some heavier rainfall as you go into areas where there is that flash flood warning still in effect. But another area that did see some heavy rain was right along the Atascosa County line. As you take I-37 and go further down near 281 near Karnes City, that's where they have continued to still see some heavier rainfall. If I take a little query in that little red area, that's 5 inches of rain for some areas. Along the county line is about 3.5 inches. So we're still seeing some heavier rainfall, but not only that, today in San Antonio, despite the heavy rainfall that we even saw in the city, some areas today also saw some temperatures. We got to 101 in San Antonio today in the city limits. Other areas still saw temperatures in those 80s or even those 90s, and we were just 2 degrees away from our previous record of 103 set back in 2011. Now, this is what you need to know, and this is what you need to expect for tomorrow. We're still going to have another warm day. Our peak temperature tomorrow is expected to be 100 degrees. But with our temperature still getting to 100 degrees, we're still tracking another chance and another round of showers in the afternoon to the evening. Similar to what we saw today, but not as widespread. Similar today in the aspect of we're seeing the chances of some showers and some thunderstorms start around lunchtime for some areas in the hill country and move closer to San Antonio in the evening and even into the early overnight hours. We're talking about sunset is when they start to diminish. And here's that futurecast of what you can expect. So I started this tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning, just so you can see your Sunday planner. You're waking up, seeing that humidity, seeing those mostly cloudy skies, and then by lunchtime, we're seeing the cloud coverage continue to diminish, seeing a mostly clear skies for portions of our afternoon, allowing for our temperatures to warm up, that daytime heating, and that's going to help spark a chance for more showers and thunderstorms throughout the rest of your afternoon and even into the evening hours. It's going to be very isolated, still similar to what we saw today, but only about a 30% chance of showers. And then the sun starts to set. We're still seeing that cloud coverage between that partly cloudy to mostly clear. But Monday morning, we're seeing another chance of a brief shower Monday morning for your morning commute. Still another mostly clear day, but then in the afternoon to the evening, we're seeing another chance of some isolated showers to thunderstorms Monday afternoon to evening. That will continue to quickly push through areas of San Antonio through the evening. And similar to what we've seen for most days is we're going to continue to see the showers and the thunderstorms push through leaving us by the time we get to sunset. And we'll keep you posted on the very latest since it is still a few days away. We're still waiting for more high resolution weather models to get fully into areas of South Texas. And after the rain chances leave, guys, that's when we see our stereotypical August heat and July heat that we normally see here in South Texas.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Shelby. Oh, I consider us a team, and I wouldn't trade you guys for the world.
Aww.
But that's not the case with Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys, because he's looking for a breakup, and he's looking for it fast.
And right, if a player is asking for a breakup or a trade, you would think it will probably happen. But in Jerry Jones' mind, that's not the case. Today we hear what Jones thinks about his star defensive player asking for a trade. And Kingston Flemings is doing big things. Yesterday it was learning ball from Chris Paul. Today he's giving back to the 2-1-0 after the break.
Don't lose any sleep over.
So just to be
That's
clear,
the one thing I would say to our fans. Don't lose any sleep over.
If Jerry Jones isn't worried about his best player on the defensive side of the football asking to be traded, then why should anyone be? That's at least how Jones sees it in Big Board Sports.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Thomas J. Henry.
All right, here we are, 1 day removed from Micah Parsons requesting a trade from the team he and his dad grew up admiring, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, today we heard from head coach Brian Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones for the first time since Parsons' trade request. Schottenheimer said he talked to Micah and the players and everything is good, then refused to speak on the matter anymore. Now, Jerry Jones, on the other hand, had this to say.
That's negotiation. I've heard that so many times in my 30 years in the NFL about from not just players but agents.
So Jones is unfazed. Now, one big question here, why won't Jones work with Parsons' agent? It feels like both parties could have at least avoided part of this broken relationship if Jones is willing to do business with Micah's agent. Whether or not you like the answer, here's Jones's explanation.
When the issues come up, the first one and the one that is there is us and the player. My experience hadn't been the agent is not the one that solves the problems you have when you're executing what you said you would do in the contract. So I like to deal directly with the player when it's of this nature.
so in March, did he say we have a deal?
Again, I'm not going to get into the details of it. I'm not getting into the details. I think I was asked the question, have we negotiated? Have we negotiated directly? And that is an emphatic yes, we have.
Well, Jones referenced dealing with Des Bryant and his agent at the time, Jay-Z, as to why he's done talking to agents, which got Des upset online. Now we'll end with this. Jones said he, quote, reached and offered Parsons more money than one might think.
We got to be physical up front. Starting with the running game, make them tired with that, and then turn around and be efficient in the pass pro. One thing that Daniil did mention to me, us talking over there is the great ones, they play and have great technique when they tired. So that right there is something that stuck with me. So I just try to focus on that when we out here. We play different situations in practice and really hone in on my technique.
Offensive tackle Ariante Ursary was the lone player drafted by the Texans this summer at his position. Ursary has made notable strides at training camp as part of a unit under intense pressure to protect their quarterback better than last season. Now, training camp is headed next to West Virginia. And speaking of athletes making their debut in Houston this fall, Brennan High School alum Kingston Flemings took a break from workouts with the Cougars and Chris Paul to host a basketball camp at his alma mater. Flemings, who has already put on 15 pounds of muscle in preparation for his freshman season, said his basketball camp was a long time coming.
Yeah, for the city camp, I think the name just comes from 4. I'm number 4 in Houston now. So I think for the city, I've always wanted to do a camp like this when I got older. So I think, we got some donations for, just help around the city. So I think just bringing kids in, teaching them basketball, and, giving back. Because I feel like whenever I'm done with basketball, I'm going to want to come back in San Antonio and help in anywhere I can.
Kingston's camp also had a financial literacy class, teaching campers the repercussions of investments and how to spend money wisely. Now let's take a look at the leaderboard at the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina. Cameron Young is golfing out of his mind with a 5-stroke lead in first place going in to Championship Sunday, while Alamo Heights alum Mac Meissner is tied for third after shooting even par today. Coming up later in sports, we're talking NFL Hall of Fame induction, the MLB Speedway Classic, Texas State Bobcats football, Texas Longhorns football. I mean, we have a lot coming up for you guys.
Looking forward to it. And Kingston Fleming, that young man, a leader on the court and showing that he is also a leader off the court. Love to see that.
He's impressing, big time.
Looking forward to his debut with the Houston Cougars.
Yes, I know you are.
Go Cougs. Thanks for that, Mary. Still ahead, he was a household pet for one family, but now a kangaroo is hopping somewhere else. How one reported bite led to an ACS investigation and discovery. And the American dream achieved by a number of San Antonio families thanks to Habitat for Humanity. How one woman says she kept up the hard work to become a homeowner. Next. There's still a lot of people in the Hill Country who need help, and there are also just as many people lining up to give back. Now the San Antonio Zoo is launching a new campaign that'll benefit people affected by the Hill Country floods. It's called Zoo Cares Together for Texans. It kicks off today, August 2nd, and runs through August 10th. You can get daytime admission to the zoo for $10 during the campaign. You just have to show your Texas ID. For every ticket sold, the zoo will donate 1 ticket to flood-affected families, first responders, and volunteers. Today, City Council, districts, nonprofits, and the Bear Housing Authority held back-to-school bashes across San Antonio, giving out thousands of school supplies like backpacks, pencils, folders, and notebooks, all while connecting families with resources throughout the greater San Antonio area. Organizers say it's heartwarming to see so many people coming together to support students. If you want to stay up to date on what's happening before the school year starts, you can do that by heading to KSAT.com. And speaking of school, Governor Greg Abbott officially signed a law banning cell phones in Texas classrooms. The law prohibits any personal wireless communication device during the school day in classrooms. The Texas Education Agency says districts are required to adopt and implement the new law, but they don't all have to do it the same way.
If we're going to be number one, it's going to require the undivided attention of our students in the classroom. Right now, the way that classrooms operate, the attention of our students is taken in a lot of different directions, in part because of the cell phone in their hand, in their pocket, in their purse, or whatever the case may be.
Districts have until September 18th to make a policy to ban cell phones. Meanwhile, the governor also signed the App Store Accountability Act. It's a law that requires stores to verify the age of users and get parental consent before letting minors download apps or use them to buy things. 16 families are moving into new homes this week, and they help build them. Help build them with the help of Habitat for Humanity. Sarah Costa spoke with one owner of the new homes, and she's a single mom and teacher, and says she couldn't have done the work without the nonprofit and her son.
So take us into your home. Come on. So this is my beautiful living room / dining area. Don't know how exactly we're going to set it up yet, but I know it's going to be beautiful.
Adriana Huerta is a single mom of 2. She has lived with her parents for 20 years with her daughter, who is now grown and moved out, and her 17-year-old son. She finally got the courage to apply for a home with Habitat for Humanity San Antonio and gets to move in with her son this week.
We were living at home with my parents, which I love. I adore everything that they have done, but it's that time that, hey, a door opened and I took the chance and applied for the program. And now I can't believe this is going to be my home.
The nonprofit has helped over 1,400 families since its inception in 1976. The program requires the homeowners to help build their homes, putting in between 250 and 500 hours of sweat equity into their homes and other Habitat builds. She says it was her son who pushed her through.
Beginning of the program, he said, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to go through the program with you and you're not going to be alone."
Adriana says at times, especially in the heat, the building process could be overwhelming, and she is grateful for the volunteers and other Habitat homeowners who cheered her on.
This is my home where I'm going to build memories, have my children over, my grandchildren in the future.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
And the fight over an illegal pet kangaroo in San Antonio now seemingly over, where the Roo now calls home. Next. Welcome back. You might remember this story from last month. An illegal pet kangaroo picked up by Animal Care Services. This after a report that the animal bit the owner's son. Now that kangaroo is out of quarantine and its owner has been told to move it outside of city limits. Madeline Lambert spoke with ACS about the case and the kangaroo's owner, who says his 11-year-old son wasn't bitten, but instead scratched.
But I don't think any of us had any idea like animal control was going to get involved and then everything else that followed.
This is Carlos Cavazos. Animal Care Services started an investigation after they were told his pet kangaroo bit his son.
We received a medical report stating that the child had gone to a facility to get treatment and then made contact with the family members that provided us multiple photographs of the injuries that the minor sustained.
Cavazos said his son was trying to feed the kangaroo, and as he set the bowl down, the animal reached to give him a hug, and that's how he scratched him.
Didn't bleed. It was just red.
According to ACS, any scratch or break in the skin is classified as a bite under Texas law.
Kangaroos are among the many exotic animals that are banned within San Antonio city limits. Other animals include wildcats, bears, coyotes, and monkeys, and there's much more added to the list.
Any animal that you're going to see at the zoo is going to be a prohibited species.
ACS ordered the kangaroo to a 30-day quarantine at the San Antonio Zoo and issued Cavazos multiple citations and fines. Lieutenant Bethany Snowden said this is the first kangaroo case she has seen in the 8 years she worked for ACS.
For my personal experience working with macropods and red kangaroos at the zoo, they're not always docile. You know, any animal, once it reaches sexual maturity, that behavior is going to completely change.
While kangaroos are illegal to own as a pet in San Antonio, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office says they can be legal as a pet in Bexar County with a permit from the Public Health Office.
He's just such a staple of our life here. I mean, we have barbecues all the time, and we have people hanging out. The kids love them. The kids are petting them.
But bottom line, ACS says kangaroos are prohibited in San Antonio. And just for context, they have issued 161 citations for illegal exotic animals in San Antonio over the last 2 years.
There are certain permits that you can get, registrations that you have to go through. Bexar County and San Antonio are pretty stringent, so there's no exceptions to the rule. They're prohibited.
Madeline Lambert, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look at live cam. It is dark right now, but today we saw our fair share of clouds mixed in with very hot temperatures.
And the one thing, JP, everyone noticed was that humidity with not only the temperatures, but also the rain. And it's still going to be humid not only tonight into tomorrow, but over the next probably 24 to 48 hours. We're still seeing the chance of rain tomorrow and even on Monday, so that humidity. It's going to be a little muggy, especially in the mornings and the afternoon when we're still seeing that chance for some rain. Now tomorrow, yes, we still have that chance of some rain showers, but our temperatures are still expecting to get to triple-digit heat. Also starting to see the rain chances really return to the forecast in the afternoon into the evening hours. I'll break down the rain chances tomorrow and take a look at what you can expect for Tuesday or for Monday afternoon coming up after the break.
The heat is back and the rain chances remain. What do we need to know ahead of Sunday?
Well, so Sunday's going to be similar to what we saw today with just the chance of the rain, very isolated, but it's still going to be toasty. And I know it's going to be humid at times for some folks too. And even then at 10:41 p.m. here on a Saturday evening, our air temperatures are still sitting in those 70s and 80s for some folks. 82 degrees in Del Rio, currently in San Antonio, sitting at about 77, but that humidity, take a look at that. We're still seeing it feeling very muggy this evening. Now, right now on authority radar, we're not seeing any active rain, but what we are seeing is some nice rainfall accumulations for some folks over the last 12 hours, and especially in areas of the hill country, they've seen a few inches of rain up in Kerr County, Bandera County, even getting into Real, Uvalde, Medina County, and even just to the east of us. That flash flood warning that was in effect finally expired because the rain continued to leave, but they're still seeing that heavy rainfall that fell in areas over there, and it's still feeling that humidity and that moisture still seeping into the ground, so it's still feeling a few degrees warmer, feeling still a little muggier. Now, over the next few hours, we're still going to continue to see the rain chances return tomorrow. Here's that futurecast once again. You're waking up still feeling that humidity, still feeling muggy with that cloud coverage. And then as we go throughout the rest of your morning, starting to see those mostly clear skies until the afternoon. We're going to have that chance for just a few showers, very isolated, scattered, brief downpours at times, moving through areas across south central Texas along Highway 90, even getting into the I-10 corridors where we're expecting the chance for some heavier showers and quick downpours. That continues to leave Sunday night around sunsets when they should already be gone and they lose that steam. But what we're watching Monday evening into, well, early Monday morning, I should say, about 1 or 2 a.m. That's when we're tracking that chance for more showers moving in from areas across San Angelo, across into areas of Texas, moving into areas closer to San Antonio by Monday morning. It's still about a 20 to 30% chance of rain Monday morning. But then as we go throughout the midday of Monday, we start to see that continue to dissipate, but we get more strength in that daytime heating for another chance of some showers moving through from Austin into areas of San Antonio as we go throughout the rest of your Monday afternoon into the evening, still pushing through very isolated, very scattered chances of rain, but the chance is still there Monday. That continues to push through once again as we go throughout the evening hours, and we're not expecting a big washout or flooding events with these chances of rain. It's going to be very isolated. Now, don't pay attention to where we're seeing that heavy, almost that bullseye of where we can see an inch or two. Just pay attention to over the next 2 days, we can see anywhere from ½ an inch of rain for areas of San Antonio to even across the state where they see that heavier rain band really set in to continue to give us about an inch or two where we see that downpour. Now, the good news is by the time we get to Monday evening, the rain chances continues to diminish as that sun starts to set. So as of Monday evening into Tuesday morning, we're really going to start to see the rain chances diminish, and all we're left with is the Texas heat, just sitting with the temperatures in those upper 90s, low triple digits. Great, I know, for some kiddos wanting to enjoy the last few weeks of summer vacation before school starts. So this week will be great. Just remember, it's still going to be hot, still going to be toasty, still going to be sunny. So wear the sunscreen, drink some water, and find some shade when you can.
It feels like Mother Nature's trying to make up for lost time as we lucked out with a low number of triple degree digit days. But now it seems like we're in the thick of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's normal August temperatures. We're normally seeing them in the upper 90s, but yeah, Mother Nature's just trying to give us all the heat.
And we used to have the rain chances at least keeping everything at bay, but even with the slight rain chances, it's not really.
No, not really.
Okay. Find a body of water if you can, if you're going to be outside.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Shelby. All right, football is heating up, not just our temperatures, but Texas State also has a big move on the way because they've now joined the Pac-12. We're getting ready to join the Pac-12.
Yes, exactly. Can't wait to see what's in store for G.J. Kinney, Texas State Bobcats in the Pac-12. And fall camp is underway for the Bobcats. We'll have more on them coming up. And the NFL Hall of Fame ceremony was today. We're also talking Longhorn football and more after the break. The NFL's Pro Football Hall of Fame welcomed 4 new members in Canton, Ohio today, including former defensive end Jared Allen, wideout Sterling Sharp, cornerback Eric Allen, and tight end Antonio Gates. Now, Jared Allen played for 4 different teams over his 12-year career. Half were with the Vikings, and he is still one of the best sack artists ever. Sterling Sharp played for 7 seasons, joining his brother Shannon into the Hall. Eric Allen was considered one of the best to play cornerback during his 14-year career, and Antonio Gates played 16 seasons for the Chargers. He was a prolific receiver, scoring 116 touchdowns in his career, helping redefine the tight end position.
Rips this one through the left side and a base hit. Here comes McLean. Profile will lob it into third, and Austin Hayes has put the Reds on the board in the first inning.
Bristol Motor Speedway, home to the Atlanta Braves and Cincinnati Reds, facing off in the first MLB regular season game in the state of Tennessee. That was this evening on the track, an awesome sight. Unfortunately, the big day was hindered by rain, so they'll have to resume play tomorrow at noon. Well, Texas State football's fall camp is officially underway in San Marcos as the Bobcats get ready to debut in the Pac-12. Now, the Bobcats are coming off of another 8-5 season, which ended with their second consecutive First Responder Bowl victory. And there's plenty to see unfold for Texas State leading up to the season as G.J. Kinney has had to replenish a loss of several starters.
It just takes reps, out wide especially. I think the running backs are having a really, really good camp. O-line's having a really good camp. Quarterbacks are doing some really good things. Receivers, we played a lot of man today on defense, and that's good. We got to beat one-on-one coverage, and on defense you got to be able to, lock them up and get after the quarterback on defense. So, I think the competition is right where we need it to be, but we got to continue to get better and hone in on the small details. But like where we're at.
I thought a guy who had his best practice today for a young player was Michael Terry. You got to remember this guy in high school played a lot of different. He was a jack of all trades, right? He was wildcat quarterback, he was receiver, he was running back, he was all over the place. And so spring was, I would say, difficult for him. The transition, graduating high school early, getting here, playing a position and really detailing the position. I didn't think we saw the best version of him. Today, I saw a really good version of Michael Terry. He looked fast, he looked physical, he looked strong.
High praise from Coach Sark to Alamo Heights alum Michael Terry III, who could be one of Arch Manning's top targets next season at the rate he's going. And we'll leave you with this. Former Texas QB Quinn Ewers turning heads at camp with how he's playing, and specifically this throw. Take a look over the defender's hands, and everyone instantly in awe, including the Miami coach on the sideline. I mean, that's why Arch Manning was his backup, right? Because of throws like that. Quinn.
You call that a dot, because that was on the dot, on the money.
I could watch it 100 times. I mean, look at that beauty.
The defender is kicking himself for sure. He could feel the ball in his fingertips.
Yeah, he instantly had that reaction.
I know. I'm pretty sure Tua's got the starting job locked up, but he's had health problems in the past. So,
so got to be ready to step in.
Ready to go. Stay ready. Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Mary. Feeling the call of the wild? Well, next Monday will be a good way to scratch that outdoors itch in honor of Great American Outdoors Day. The National Park Service will be waiving the entry fee to any of its parks on August 4th. It's to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Great American Outdoors Act. President Donald Trump signed that into law in 2020. The Department of the Interior describes the legislation as the single largest investment in public lands in American history. It has helped support large-scale infrastructure projects and renovations to campgrounds in some of the nation's most beloved parks, including Big Bend. And before we leave you tonight, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Ma Harper, who turned 96 today. She's, of course, the owner and operator of Ma Harper's Creole Kitchen, an East Side staple for more than 30 years. We've spoken with Ma Harper many times over the years, and every time we've asked if she's considering retiring, she tells us she isn't done yet.
She's still got some cooking to do. Happy birthday. I wish you didn't, or I wish you loved the weather today. Looking ahead to the next 7 days or the next 8 days, we're going to continue to see some rain chances tomorrow and Monday. Only about a 30 to 20% chance over the next 2 days, and then finally warming up and drying out as we go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hoping to add a few more days in the near triple-digit heat to our calendar. So far, including today, we've had 8 days in 2025 above triple-digit heat.
And it looks like we have more on the way.
More on the way.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Shelby. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow night.